Did the recent administration or the administration that is presently in office, the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, did they send representatives to a certain area and absolutely unequivocally betray the nation of Israel? I received a phone call from a pastor friend of mine. I happen to be ministering in Texas, and he ministers, of course, in another state, and he pastors. And a lot of times I don't give names out to, when people give me information. And the reason I don't is because people then try to contact them or bug them or ask them questions. And even sometimes media people in their area will say, well, we heard this, tell us more about it. And they don't want to say anything more than what they've said. This pastor contacted me and he told me something that had happened that had been reported on the news. And I said, can you send me written information where I can actually read it so that if I begin to talk about it, people will not say to us, where did you hear it? Where did that come from? Etc. If this happened, and it appears that it did happen, and there appears to be evidence that it did from several different sources, this is probably one of the deepest betrayals that, at least that I can remember since I have been delving with and teaching Bible prophecy. I'm going to read this off of my phone right here, and here's what it says. Fox News reported on the recent development, noting that the American delegation was speculated to arrive in Iran through Turkey, landing at the Payam-e-Khorram airport in Karaj last Thursday, and this is a while back, and engaging in a 2-hour meeting with Iranian officials before returning to Turkey. Allegedly, and I'm going to use that because that is what the paper used. Allegedly, the American delegation presented a list with the names of 10 Mossad agents within Iran whom the Americans believe were involved in the assassinations, and they were involved with assassinating terrorists and things of that nature, either directly or indirectly. Al Jarida said that the Americans would have reportedly done this as a good faith initiative in response to Israel's strikes, which were carried out without America's coordination. Mossad happens to be the intelligence agency for Israel. We would call them the CIA. They would be like the spy network in the CIA. And we know that the CIA has spies. My father pastored many years ago in Arlington, Virginia, and one of the top Central Intelligence agents was a member of my dad's church. And he never told Dad anything classified, nothing like that, but he knew a lot of things. He knew about Watergate before the Washington Post ever reported it in the newspaper. He dealt with the Shah of Iran. There's a lot of stories. He actually warned the King of Arabia that a nephew that was mentally challenged was being trained by the Russians to kill him. This is the man that warned him. This was a high-level guy. He could speak 7 languages. So what I'm saying is this, based on what I would know, if the names of these secret spies that were working in Iran to discover who the terrorists were, to discover what they were trying to do to Israel, and some of these attempts to eliminate or eradicate these terror leaders, if the United States gave 10 names of 10 agents, and I'm going to tell you why I believe they did, that was the worst betrayal of trust. And they did it because the administration, the Biden-Harris administration, was upset because they did not have any coordination or were not apparently informed that some of these terrorists that Israel was killing outside of Israel, outside of Gaza, including here in Iran, had taken place. Now that would be like, I'm trying to think what I could compare this to. Well, that would be like spies that were in China, for example, trying to figure out attacks on Taiwan, and all of a sudden the United States goes in, or not the United States, Russia would go in, for example. Let's just use that for example. And they would say, well, we happen to know the names of who these spies are that are working in China that are trying to hinder your attack of Taiwan. I mean, that's a very weak illustration, but I'm telling you, you don't give out the names of individuals who are working covert. My friend who talked to me in Texas said this. He said, one of the men, he said, now this man, by the way, has huge connections in Israel with generals, military, huge connections. So I'm sure he received this information from them. But one of the men, one of the leading men, had already been murdered in Iran, and they're going to murder his family, and they're going to find all 10 of these and murder them. Now, why would the United States do it? First of all, to show Israel, oh, you don't do nothing without our permission. Arrogance, okay? The second reason I was told was that they are asking the Iranians, the present administration, to help them get the hostages out so that before the election, a certain person, you know who it would be elected, being able to say, we got the hostages of Israel out under our administration, and look like some great hero and some great leader. This is how politics work. This is how the systems work. And to me, when I found this out, and then I did confirm it by this article that it's allegedly happened, and then my sources who are connected with Israel told me it happened, I just can't imagine how the Israelis feel about something like this. So let's just see what comes out of this. Let's just see if there's more reports that come out of it. Let's just see. Of course, the administration will publicly deny it by the news. That's what they do all the time. And the media is with them, this present administration. So they're with them. So they're going to deny it as well, I'm sure. But I would not be reporting this had I not heard it from a person who knows information from there. And I would not have reported it because it has been reported on the news. Okay? So I'm just saying, betrayals like that cost people their lives. So, I understand God now why the Lord said, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They shall prosper that love thee, because it's going to be, Zechariah chapter 12, a cup of trembling in the earth. And there's coming the war of Gog and Magog, Ezekiel 38 and 39 in the future right here. And so we're living in prophetic times. I would suggest to you personally, it's a time to get right with the Lord, to get your heart right with the Lord. It's a time to do the right thing, follow Him and serve Him till He calls you home or till the return of the Lord takes place. Give us a thumbs up if you like this kind of information. Do it right now. Don't wait till later. Do it right now. And also, if you would, subscribe to our channel if you've not subscribed as yet. And always keep watching, because there's something special we want to offer you. Thank you. Please give me your undivided attention. Many months ago, I began to hear secular economists announce a new global reset was coming. That's when I heard this phrase in my spirit, the American apocalyptic reset. For several weeks, I woke up early and began receiving a series of stunning prophetic downloads that I penned and now have placed them all in my brand new prophetic book, America's Apocalyptic Reset. This book is a must-read for all Christians, for all of those who love Bible prophecy, for conservative Americans and American patriots. The 19 chapters go extremely deep into exposing the agenda now being secretly plotted and to be publicly forced upon us, the American people, and how we can counter it. I discovered some very stunning ancient prophetic parallels and patterns, some that go back 4,000 years, that are repeating themselves in the United States right now. I deal with America's great Babel reset and the planned persecution of Christians, America's self-curse that will eventually bring judgment upon the nation, the coming Jezebel clash, the woman who will be president, how she would react and wisely resist corrupt governments. I reveal the unique Silicon Valley parallels and also go into the plans to bankrupt, then reset America economically. Also, I talk about how to function when the church must go underground. I received a very unique revelation concerning President Trump and a pattern that's found in history. There's a chapter also that I deal with how did the prophets get it wrong, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the most significant prophetic book in the history of my ministry, especially in the time that we're in. But that's not all. I'm also including my most recent inside information prophetic briefing on 2 audio CDs. It's 2 hours in length, and I will release detailed information that I cannot, and I want you to hear me, I cannot nor will I share this on social media or on television, as absolutely in the climate that we're now in, a lot of this information would be targeted for being blocked and banned if it was made public. and not done in this private setting that we're doing it in. These 2 hours contain biblical, political, national, and international revelation and information that I am sure that many of you have not been aware of. It is for truth lovers only. I want you to order right now this prophetic resource package, my brand new book, The Apocalyptic Reset, and the 2-hour prophetic CDs by going online at perrystone.org or calling 1-888-21-BREAD, or write me at Perry Stone, P.O. Box 3595, Cleveland, Tennessee 37320. Now, we're making this available for your donation of $35 or more, and you can request the offer APR-140. That's APR-140. I'm going to unmask the radical globalists and individuals who have set out to oppose and silence Christians, silence patriots, and shut the mouth of conservatives. And we will show you in the book what we can do when we unite together. We are looking forward to getting this into your hands.
If you enjoyed this YouTube content, there's an important website you should know about: perrystone.org. Perrystone.org is an essential resource for the latest books, audiovisual presentations, and digital products from Perry Stone Ministries, resources that cover the same kinds of topics discussed in the program you just watched. Stop in and see all that's available at perrystone.org.